I'm Dr. Steve Zifferblatt, Director of the Better Life Institute. The world of science and medicine is rapidly exploring many new frontiers that are designed to increase both length and quality of life for you and your family. I'm going to discuss today the role that a particular group of vitamins and minerals, namely the antioxidant vitamins and minerals, what role they play in improving both your health and length and quality of life. And the antioxidant vitamins and minerals are vitamin A, C, E, beta-carotene, and the mineral selenium. In the second half of our discussion, I'm going to discuss with you why Nutrilite food supplements are particularly suited and uniquely positioned to help you in this world of new science and new medicine and increased life expectancy and quality of life.
Gifts come in strange packages. There's some beautiful cars out for you to look out over there, and ski-doos and all different types of equipment. That's a gift in a way. Christmas time is you get gifts. Gifts come in little packages with silver foil around them and ribbons, etc., etc. Tonight we're going to talk about a gift also. It's going to be a little bit different kind of gift. We're going to talk about a gift of health and life. A gift of health and life for you, for your families, and your customers as well. People take for granted their health and their lives. And you don't really think about them until you're faced with having to deal with it and look at it a lot more carefully, or other people in your family have some difficulties. Well, I want to bring that close to you today in a lot of different ways. I'm going to talk about some new developments, new ideas, new research data, new trends that are going on in the area of health and fitness and vitamins and minerals. You don't have to really take a lot of notes on it, because if you go out to the health and fitness area, there are brochures out there that are already done for you, and they're there for you to pick up, and they have everything in them in complete detail. So I'd like your attention, and I'm going to use some slides. I gather the first slide is up there already, and we'll start in with just a very simple idea. Around the Revolutionary War, life expectancy for men and women was about 38 years of age. 38 years of age. What's life expectancy for men and women today? Life expectancy for men in the United States of America is about 75 years of age. And for women, it's about 80 years of age, 75 and 80. Well, contrast that to this first slide that you see up there that talks about normal biological lifespan. Lifespan, normal biological capability to keep the body alive is between 110 and 120 years of age. 110 and 120 years of age. That is a big gap, people, from 75 or 80 to 110 to 120 years of age. There's a lot of room for improvement. People, in fact, live that long. What we're going to discuss today are some new ideas, leading edge ideas. And they come down to something very, very simple. Can I have the next slide, please? They come down not to diseased organs and wounds and transplantation, etc., not even to different types of medications. The newest frontiers of research are starting to discover that the secret to life is the single cell. To the degree, to the degree that your cells are healthy, and you have trillions of cells in your body, to the degree that each single cell is healthy, to that degree you have a healthy body. Can I have the next slide, please? And a single cell, years ago, we had no ability to understand what a single cell was. Today, we now understand that there are about 1,000 different components in a single cell. A single cell is kind of like the human body. It has all the same basic functions that the human body has, but it has it on a mini scale. To the degree we unlock the secrets of the single cell and how that cell works and how to repair that cell and how to keep it alive and how to keep it young, to that degree we will unlock the secrets of life, health, youth and longevity. That's where we're going. So you hear about genetic medicine and RNA and DNA, molecular biology, cellular biology, cellular physiology. You read about all these different things in the newspapers and magazines. We're going to go into that discussion in a little bit and discuss that to a certain degree as we look at the whole world of vitamins and minerals. First, we're going to bring down the single cell into a situation that all of you will understand. Can I have the next slide, please? This next slide points to something very, very fundamental. It's a diagram of a blood vessel. It kind of looks like a radial ply tire in a way, doesn't it? It's got many different layers. Those layers are composed of different cells. I know it's pretty high up, but there are 4 layers there. The red arrow points to where blood flow occurs, right down the middle of that blood vessel. The next layer, right after that, is called the endothelial cell layer. Those are the cells that touch where blood flow occurs, and those are the cells that act as gatekeepers for all of the nutrients, vitamins and minerals, water, oxygen, etc., that eventually passes into all of the cells of your blood vessel walls, all of those cells. Then you have 3 layers of cells after that: the intima and the media and the adventitia. So the point that I'm getting at is that every single blood vessel in the body is composed of cells that desperately need nutrients, water, oxygen, etc. And the key to getting all of those nutrients are the gatekeepers or the endothelial cells, the ones that just touch where blood flow occurs. Next slide, please. We're going to look at that a little differently, in a slightly different way. 4 circles. The shaded inner circle, it's their blood vessel, cut open or cross section so you can see where blood flow occurs. The shaded section in there, just below the real dark section of the blood vessel, is that endothelial cell layer, those gatekeeper cells. Notice what happens in the 4 circles. The first circle at 12 o'clock shows you what those endothelial cells look like at birth. Now, why is this a very important set of circles? How does every single cell in your body get water, get oxygen, get vitamins and minerals, get nutrients, get hormones and enzymes? They get them from blood vessels. Cut yourself or scratch yourself with a pin anywhere in your body, you'll draw blood. Because every single cell is washed by blood. That's how every single cell gets all of its vital nutrition. That's how cells stay alive. So, your eye cells, the cells in your brain, cells in your heart muscle, liver, kidneys, etc., all get this from delivery of blood flow. That's what blood is about. Blood is really fuel for every single cell. In the first circle at 12 o'clock, that's what it looks like when you're born. Notice the second circle. You start to see some aging in the endothelial cell layer. Notice how it's starting to thicken. The cells are starting to malfunction. And what's happening there is that it's choking off blood supply. That's what it looks like in 25-year-olds in the United States. The next circle, the third circle, shows you what it looks like as those endothelial cells start to die and age in 50-year-olds. And the fourth circle is in a 75-year-old. And you can see that when you get to the fourth circle, it kind of ruins your whole day, I think. Right? In this instance, the target of that blood vessel are the cells in the heart muscle. So you have a slowdown in the cells in the heart muscle, or death in the cells in the heart muscle. Suppose it's to the brain. You have what we call risk of stroke or cerebrovascular disease instead of what we call heart disease in the heart muscle. Liver disease, the same thing, if the target are the cells in the liver. Kidney disease, Alzheimer's disease in the brain, high blood pressure, diabetes. All of these diseases are in the main circulatory diseases, diseases of aging, but not diseases of aging of your entire body, diseases principally of aging of blood vessels. And if the targets of those blood vessels happen to be the cells in the heart, you have heart disease, stroke in the brain, slowdown in your eyes and ears and kidney and liver, etc., etc. That's what aging is about. Birth, 25, 50, 75 years of age. That's what it's like in the United States of America. Now, the point that I'm getting at is, if you remember the first slide, biological lifespan is 110 to 120 years of age. That's what your body is capable of living to. So what happens is that for a lot of you, by the time you're 25 years of age, by the time you're 25 and your blood vessels look like that second circle right around 2 o'clock on the clock, what happens is that you are really 45 years of age biologically, but you've only lived 25 years. You've lived 45 years of your life biologically in 25 chronological years. Because birth, 25, 50, and 75 is what we are living to in terms of our lifespan right now, but our biological capability is far greater. The secret is that you can't stop aging. But if you look at those circles, the secret is to slow the aging process down. Instead of birth, 25, 50, and 75, how about birth, 30, 60, and 90? How about birth, 33, 66, 99? How about birth, 35, 70, 105? How about birth, 40, 80, 120? My point is a simple one. Aging is inevitable, but the rate at which you and I age, your children age, your parents age, the people that you love, your family's age, the rate at which we all age is negotiable, That's a fundamental fact. So there are those of you that are 25 years of age out there, young, but you're 45 years biologically. You've lived 45 years of that 110 years already. Next slide, please. I'll show you what this looks like in color. You're looking at a blood vessel slit open lengthwise, laid back so you can see that endothelial cell layer. It's hard to see here. This is a blood vessel in a 10-year-old, in your children. There are fatty streaks in that blood vessel. That's that yellowish color. And I'll show it to you from another shot in a few seconds, not right now. That blood vessel should look like it does in the upper right-hand corner, which is perfectly clean. That's the way a 10-year-old's blood vessel should look. That's what a 25-year-old person's blood vessel should look like, not having that yellow fatty streak in there. Next slide, please. Now I'll show you what it looks like in a person that's 55 years of age. 55 years of age chronologically. Kind of looks like pizza, don't you think? The next time you order pizza, you'll remember it at least once. Okay? That person died at 55 years of age. They lived 110 years of their biological life in 55 chronological or calendar years. The process of aging is inevitable, but the rate at which we age is negotiable. And a considerable amount of the diseases, heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, stroke, cerebrovascular disease, liver disease, kidney disease, even forms of Alzheimer's disease are in effect circulatory disease. Your challenge is to slow down the destruction of those cells that line or the layer inside the blood vessel. Next slide, please. Let me show you what it looks like in children. This is another shot, an actual photo right up a child's blood vessel. You can see the little bumps in your kid's blood vessels in the lower left-hand corner. Those bumps shouldn't be there. They're okay in a 25-year-old or a 30-year-old. Aging is inevitable, but not in a 10-year-old. Not in a 10-year-old. Now I'll show you what they look like in you. Next slide, please. This is what they look like in most of you in the 25 to 40 age range. That's what they look like. There's a lot of blockages starting to occur, and those endothelial cells have started to die. Next slide, please. This is what it looks like in the next slide when you're about 50 to 60 years of age. There's a lot of interference and a lot of turbulence. Now, let's take a look at this for a second and say, just look at it in terms of what's happening. Why is this occurring? How does this relate to our major theme of vitamins and minerals? Why do these endothelial cells die in the manner that they do, and scar and build up all that gunk and that pizza-looking stuff. Why does that all happen? Well, a main reason can be explained simply. Cut open an apple, lay the apple on the table, go away from the apple, come back. You don't have to go away, you can stand there if you want, but come back in 20 minutes, and that apple is starting to turn brown. When you look at the brown on the apple, what you say is the apple is starting to spoil. When I look at the apple, I say, as a scientist, the apple is starting to oxidize. Oxidize. Oxygen from the air is combining with the molecules of food on the surface of the apple, and a very complex interaction is occurring, forming a variety of different types of toxins and poisons. It happens in all different types of food. The food that you eat is of necessity oxidized food. It's exposed to air, heat, and light. We all have refrigerators. What is a refrigerator? A refrigerator slows down the oxidation process. It's cool in a refrigerator. A cooler temperature slows down the oxidation process. There's no light in there. Close the door, I assume there's no light inside. That slows down the oxidation process. There's less air in there, and you cover things. That slows down the oxidation process. The task and the challenge of keeping food good for you and healthy is to slow down the oxidation process. And the point that I'm getting at is that all of the food we eat, it's heated, it's boiled, it's broiled and baked and fried and microwaved and steamed and everything else. All the food that we eat, even natural food, after it's cooked, processed food, is in part oxidized food. Is in part oxidized food. Next slide, please. And I'll show you what some of those products are. These are vicious products of different types. There's different types of cholesterol that's oxidized, different types of hyperoxides from fats, malinators, acetylators, all different types of complicated chemicals, may I have the next slide, that we put together in one fancy term. And a lot of you have heard that term. It's called free radicals. Free radicals. Many of you have heard that term. All that free radicals are these complex chemicals that are byproducts of the oxidation process. Now, when you're eating, you see, what happens is the protein, fat, carbohydrate, and cholesterol that's going into your system is oxidized protein, fat, carbohydrate, and cholesterol. It has all of these free radicals and oxidized products, and they're now coursing through your blood vessels. As they move through your blood vessels, what they in fact do is damage those blood vessel walls. They kill those endothelial cells. They age them. They rip and tear at them. They destroy cells. That's what free radicals do. And under those circumstances, what's happening is there is this gradual, slow death process occurring in blood vessel walls, which eventually goes from those 4 circles that I showed you until 75, and then it's death. That's the point that I'm getting at. Free radicals are very, very vicious. However, nature has endowed us with different types of substances which can't stop the oxidation process, which can't stop the production of free radicals, but it can slow them down. Next slide, please. And those substances are called antioxidants. Welcome to the world of antioxidants, people. Remember that term. It's a very important term. Antioxidants. Substances that slow down the oxidation process and the production of free radicals. And what are some of these substances? Next slide, please. You can see that the majority of antioxidants that are available to us are vitamins and minerals. Vitamin A, beta-carotene, vitamin C, vitamin E, and the mineral selenium. Welcome to the world of vitamins and minerals, and welcome to the world of antioxidants. To the degree these vitamins and minerals are flowing through your system, to that degree,
your inner blood vessel walls, your endothelial cells are protected from all of this damage, from the damage that free radicals produce. It slows it down. It allows them to maintain their integrity for a long time. So it's not birth 25, 50, and 75. It's birth 35, 70, and 105, so to speak. So that's very important. You need antioxidants. Selenium is a mineral that, when in combination with E, really magnifies the antioxidant power of E. Makes it very, very powerful. Next slide, please. The story doesn't stop there in terms of antioxidants. I've talked a lot about heart disease and blood vessel disease and circulatory disease. Let's talk a little bit about some other areas. Let's talk, for instance, about cancer. Cancer is a situation where certain cells in the body somehow lose their identity, and they become mutant cells, and they start to multiply beyond normal constraints. Well, each little cell has a genetic code about rate of reproduction. And what happens is that free radicals get into the cells and injure the genes. All of a sudden, this cell loses its reproductive code and starts to multiply rapidly. It becomes a mutant cell. And eventually, a group of mutant cells can become a tumor, and it can become malignant, and you have cancer. Free radicals also destroy T cells or certain cells that are part of your immune system. And what these cells do is they're always jumping at all the bad cells in your body. Right now, you have mutant cells in your body. You have cancer-causing cells going through your body, but your immune system is scavenging them and destroying them, as it is other germs and other bacteria and foreign particles. So the point that I'm getting at is that as we start to understand a lot about free radicals and the basic disease process that's cellular-based in terms of disease, the final analysis will be that every single disease that we know is ultimately a cellular disease, a disease of cellular malfunction. What I'm trying to explain to you in terms of free radicals is that they destroy the integrity of cells and therefore encourage the development of diseases. Next slide, please. What you see now is a T cell leaping towards, it's in the lower right-hand corner, a mutant cell. This is your immune system at work. And it's leaping towards it, and it's going to devour it, degrade it, and kill it. That's a strong immune system. Antioxidants enhance the power of the immune system. Next slide, please. So free radicals are now being looked at as a fundamental cause of lots of cellular malfunction and diseases. Diseases such as Parkinson's disease, cataracts, arthritis, heart disease, cancer, certain aspects of aging, et cetera, et cetera. We're looking at free radicals and oxidation process as being a fundamental expression of all diseases. These are just the ones we've done research on. To the degree you have a powerful exposure to antioxidant vitamins and minerals, to that degree you will be protected from these diseases. Next slide, please. Let's take a look at it a little differently. A lot of times when we talk about this, you hear scientists, physicians, and nutritionists saying, just eat a balanced meal. All we need is an adequate diet. Well, let's explore the adequate diet and what that really means. Next slide means. Next slide. The next slide that you're going to see is a survey. The numbers are small, from Dr. Gladys Block at the National Cancer Institute. And what Dr. Block has pointed out is that while people such as myself and other physicians and scientists recommend a balanced diet for people, what is the reality of a balanced diet for all of you? It's not a very powerful reality. What you're looking at is a survey that looks at the percentage of the population consuming certain types of fruits and vegetables on any given day. About 82%, 83% consume any vegetable. Then we get garden vegetables at about 50%. Dark leafy greens, those broccoli and cauliflower, broccoli and cabbages and rutabaga and asparagus and Brussels sprouts, all those horrible foods. We have somewhere around 18 to 20%. Fruits and juices, right around 60%. Fruits and vegetables rich in beta-carotene,
right around, I think it's 21%. And rich in vitamin C, right around 30%. So the reality is that people are not eating what we would like them to eat. That is a reality. That's a given. We deal with health and life from the reality of your lives, not from the ideal under these circumstances. So the point that I'm getting at is that it's important to use a vitamin and mineral to make sure that you have all of these antioxidants. The antioxidants, in general, come from plant food. They don't come from steak and cream cheese and Haagen-Dazs ice cream and M&Ms and Reese's peanut butter cups and all of those things that we all like. I wish they did, but they don't. They come from plant food. I guess in some ways, the best recommendation I can give you is every morning go out and eat your lawn, and you have plenty of antioxidants. So that's the reality. And the foods that you eat when you get them from the supermarket, do you really think the oranges that you pluck off the shelf in the supermarket were taken from the tree the day before and air expressed from Florida, California, or Mexico to you? No way. Some of that stuff is picked 6 months beforehand, gassed, nitrated, stored, and cooled. A lot of your vegetables have a 2 to 4 week from the field delay. And then they go into your home. You're in the supermarket and they go into your home. You're not eating fresh things. There's virtually no vitamin C in the oranges that you buy in the supermarket. It's all gone because of the half-life of vitamin C. It's a very unstable vitamin. So the point that I'm getting at is that even when you eat a certain way, by virtue of the commercial food system that we're exposed to, we're not getting from those fruits and vegetables what we think we're getting. They are depleted, nutritionally deficient foods. So it's important, again, in terms of adequacy, to make sure that you have enough. Take a good, solid multivitamin and mineral and get a good exposure to antioxidants. Next slide, please. 50% of Americans in the USDA surveys don't meet the USRDA's. 50%. You're likely one of those people. Next slide. Because of the lifestyle that you and I and all of us lead. But I'm not interested in adequacy. I'm interested in excellence. Excellence is what I'm interested in, and that's what you're interested in. Next slide, please. I want something that's going to be protective, that's going to help promote health, that's going to get me beyond the 75 or 80 years of age, that's going to get me to 90, 100, 110. What I want to point out is that there are several studies. Bear with me for a second. This is a study that points out from the American Heart Association this year that the exposure to certain vitamins and minerals, vitamin C, E, and beta-carotene, actually reversed the development of all of that plaque, debris, and death of the endothelial cells. It made people younger. It reversed the disease process. It slowed it down in others. It stabilized it in others by taking doses of C, E, and beta-carotene. Next slide, please. What were the doses that these people took? That's another issue. The USRDA's for beta-carotene is about 5,000 IUs. The people in the study for several years took 50,000 IUs. No harmful side effects by any remote stretch of the imagination. Vitamin E, USRDA is about 30 IUs. The people in the study took 400 IUs. Vitamin C, the USRDA is between 60 and 80 milligrams. The people in the study took 1,000 milligrams. None of these dosage levels are in any way aversive or toxic. The specter of being harmed by vitamins and minerals is very remote. You really have to go after it in a very crazy, irrational manner for those things to happen. The exception is vitamin A. You can really knock yourself down or possibly harm your liver with doses of vitamin A over 25, 30,000 IUs of vitamin A. So you have to be careful about vitamin A. But the point that I'm getting at is that the doses used in these studies for nutritional excellence, to improve health, to prevent and treat blood vessel disease, were far, far above the USRDA's. And nutritional excellence requires that, in fact, you go above the USRDA's. Of course you need to eat the proper foods, plant food, dark leafy greens, whole grains, fruits, etc. But you need something more in terms of nutritional excellence. Next slide, please. A new area is starting, and a very new research area is moving very rapidly called nutraceuticals. Nutraceuticals
nutrition and pharmaceuticals. We are beginning to understand that the food that you put in your mouth every single day, people, is not just food. It has important consequences to your health. Certain foods harm your health, and other foods improve your health. Other foods prevent or even treat certain diseases. As we move into the future, you're going to hear more about this term nutraceuticals. You're going to hear more about high-tech approaches to concentrating broccoli, to concentrating carrots, to concentrating parsley, to concentrating certain fruits and vegetables that appear to have this ability to prevent, cure, or treat diseases. That's the power of food concentrates, and it's going to really move very quickly. For a lot of you that have been using XX, you have been getting food concentrates and natural food concentrates of alfalfa, watercress, parsley, carrots, spinach, and acerola cherry for years and years and years. Those are, in many instances, the medicines of the future. The medicines of the future. Nutraceuticals, food concentrates. XX is the only vitamin and mineral in the world that has the power of the concentrates built in, plus the extra A, C, E, etc., etc. So it's an excellent, excellent vitamin and mineral and has a powerful dose of antioxidants in it. The challenge in the long run in terms of vitamins and minerals and health is really to do something about them. It's the challenge for success in business. It's a challenge for success spiritually, character, integrity, personality, intellect. The challenge is a challenge of change. All this little slide says is today I stop smoking, today I go on a diet, today I get my life in order, today I don't get up. Okay? All that I'm pointing out is what you already know and what you already have in terms of experience. Success is not measured by what you say, it's measured by what you do. Health is not measured by what you say and by what you think and by what you read. It's measured by what you do every single day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, morning, noon, and evening, Monday through Sunday, etc., etc. For you, your husbands and wives, your children, the rest of your families, and all of those people whom you love. That's how success is measured, by doing something about it and making sure you have these antioxidants. Next slide, please. Let's take a look at an ideal formula for nutritional excellence. I'm going to give you a sample of that formula or a recommendation in terms of ideal antioxidant nutritional excellence. You might want to take some notes on this because there's nothing else about this anywhere. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, XX. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, XX. And I mean breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Some of you take 3 servings of XX in the morning. Some of you would take 21 of them Monday morning if you could. XX is a food supplement. It supplements or enriches your food. It should be taken with food. So XX, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. At breakfast, 1 capsule of beta-carotene, 1 tablet of Bio-C. Bio-C has bioflavonoids in it. And bioflavonoids are also an antioxidant, and bioflavonoids also strengthen blood vessel walls, make them stronger. And 1 tablet of Parselenium E. Parselenium E, the power of selenium built in with vitamin E. And in the evening, the same thing, beta-carotene, Bio-C, and Parselenium E. And midday, A plus zinc. A plus zinc. That is an ideal antioxidant regimen. Next slide, please. The health of human beings is determined not by medical intervention, but by behavior, by food, and by environment. Vitamins and minerals, or food supplements, are a powerful ally in preventing, and now we understand, treating and even curing certain types of diseases. Powerful, powerful medicine. Food is medicine. And food, we are starting to learn as scientists, it's starting to be treated as healing
healing substances. We have books that are called Foods That Heal and Meals That Heal, and we're starting to take this seriously. So the point that I'm getting at is that really give serious consideration to a good solid program for yourselves and your families in that world of antioxidants. It can really help a lot. You have to, of course, deal with exercise. Cut down or eliminate alcohol. Eliminate cigarette smoking. Watch all your fat and cholesterol. Keep your weight down. You know all of those things. I haven't touched on those things and spent much time on them this evening. We know about that. I've tried to bring you something new, something leading edge, something dynamic, and something, in my opinion, more exciting and more fundamental to the process of health. And with a little bit of work and effort on your part, you can really do something about that area and really sing symphonies in terms of health.
There are many challenges and opportunities that await you and your family in terms of improving life expectancy. But the important thing about it is to do something about it now, not tomorrow and not next week, but to start on that roll right now. The challenges and opportunities are exciting, and life, to live it as long as you can and do as much as you can and enjoy it and leave this place a little bit better, is there for you. Just start on it now.